did posted this, so I want to make sure I give credit where credit is due. I was sent it too, but this copy is oh yeah, we're getting there next. I'm gonna read. Right now I'm reading the. Oh, actually, let me just push that and pin it. Okay, hold on. How do I do it? Here we go. Okay, now I'm gonna pin it. That way when it comes in, we'll know. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to stay out of the chat so I can get this read because it is a lot of pages and I want you guys to all know. Okay. The petition for injunction for protection against DV under statute and other papers filed in this court have been reviewed. The court has jurisdiction of the blank and the subject matter. It is intended that this protection order meet the requirements of 18 U.S.C. section 2265 and therefore intended that it is it to be accorded full faith and credit by the court and another state of Indiana tribe. Okay, here we go. Section 1, hearing. This cause came before the court for hearing to determine whether an injunction for protection against DV in this case should be issued. That doesn't mean that it should. It's just saying it came over to see if it should be issued. The hearing was attended by petitioner, which is Kiara, respondent, which is anti, and both of their counsel. She has writing all over this, so I'm having to read through some of the writing. On 10/30/25, a notice of this hearing was served on respondent together with a copy of petitioner's petition to this court and the temporary injunction if issued. Service was within the time required by Florida law, and respondent was afforded an opportunity to be heard. After hearing the testimony of each party present and of any witnesses, or upon consent of respondent, why is there something? Court, respondent blank probably says the court based on the specific facts of this case that that petitioner is a victim of DV or reasonable cause to believe that she is in imminent danger of becoming a victim of DV by respondent. There's like writing and stuff over it. That's why it's a little bit hard. Okay. That's the same one. That's page 3. The fuck happened to page 2? Why is there 2 of every page? Oh my god, it's not in order. Hold on. Let me get this figured out. Oh wait, hold on. I think you guys told me this. Hold on. Patience for the old lady that doesn't know what she's doing. Because I sent it from my phone here. You guys said go to files. Where's the files? That's not files. Where shall it be? Let me just look through these really fast. Okay, sorry guys. Give me a second. Okay, that's it. Which one? Let me do this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send them again just because I can't do that with them all out of order. Hold on. Let me do this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to send them again just because I can't do that with them all out of order. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. It said it's sent. Okay, here we go. We're on it. Paula, nothing. We are just getting started. We're reading the Kiara and Anti RO. Okay, so last thing I thought I got was that she is either in a DV situation or a victim of DV could be happening. Okay. Then it goes, oh, that's right, turn it this way. Thank you guys for being patient. Indirect criminal contempt. Upon receiving such report, the state attorney is hereby appointed to prosecute such violations by indirect criminal contempt proceedings, or the state attorney may decide to file criminal charges if warranted by the evidence. Number 4. Wait, was there a number before? Why do I feel like once again I'm missing a page? I am. Because how did that start at 4? Then it goes to 23. Why doesn't it just send them in order? I sent them in order. Oh, I'm going to get irritated. This is page 3. That's the first page. It's just the same pages over and over. What the fuck is going on here? I'm sorry, guys. I should have had this put together. I don't want to read it out of order. Okay, I'm going to try something one time. I'm going to send one page at a time. Give me 1 second. I promise it won't take long. Let's try to do this, because that's all out of whack, all out of order. She hasn't posted them up there 3 times. Okay, who sent them to me? Let me look it up. Sorry, guys. Loose Lips Reloaded. Okay, let's not that. I don't want that. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we'll try it this way. Let me see. This is for Anthony and oh, this one is, oh wait, hold on. Someone sent me a DM. They had tea, and the tea did they have, I told y'all, they are they all out here committing med fraud because of the 1099 employees medication. We'll get into that next. I want to do the RO. I didn't know about this. Where is the RO? Here it is. Okay. So we did this one. Oh, it just does go right into page 3. Okay. And then 5. So it's missing pages. Maybe the other page, maybe she left the pages out that were insignificant. Let me make sure. 3, 5, and then 23. I just want to make sure I'm reading to you right. So we're going to get into it here in just a second. Final judgment. Okay. She just replayed it. Okay. So let me pull it back up. I apologize, guys. I just don't want to read you guys craziness. You know what I'm saying? All right. Here we go. We're back on it. And then we'll go back and read whatever filed against her. I didn't know. First, a drink of my water. Hey, Life of Steph. We're reading the RO for Anti and Kiara. Let me put that in there one more time. Hey, Tiff. Okay, and then I will pin it. There we go. Okay, here we go. Number 4, respondent, which is anti in this matter, okay? Respondent, upon service of this injunction, shall be deemed to have knowledge of and something bound. Again, there's letters all over the thing, so it's hard to read a little bit. But bound by all matters occurring to this hearing and on the face of this injunction. Number 5, the temporary injunction, if any, entered in this case is extended until such time as service of this injunction is effected upon respondent. Did you, Queen D? Okay, let's do that. Did you send it on TikTok, love? I knew my people had me. I knew y'all had me. Someone sent me one, but it was really blurry. But I know it wasn't you, love. Okay. Queen D, right? Do you guys hear the wind picking up? Queen D. Wait, where are you? Queen, I didn't know you were my 4 sons too, love. Oh my gosh. Here you are. Okay. This one? Wait, what's this? This isn't it, right? No. There must be another one higher up. Hold on. Did you just send it? Because what I got was financial docs from something. Wait. Are you talking about this one? 4 cents? Oh yeah, this is from yesterday, but this is financial stuff. Adverse monthly expenses. This is more on like a child support, maybe, or something. But yeah, I want to see. I want the DVRO. It's on what page, love? Okay. Exactly, baby shark. Exactly. I just, listen, I grasp going out and having a fun time and being an adult, but you got children under the age of 1 at these massive parties. Get them somewhere. And if you're willing to leave the baby with Wavy, with, hey Tammy, with Wavy, with also not saying nothing about them, Jenny, people that she doesn't know, that doesn't make sense. Okay, this one's part 2. Is there a part 1? Oh wait, maybe the first one was part 1? Oh, this is part 1. DVRO limited but not in full. Okay, here we go. I can always count on my people. Okay, here we go. It won't let me do it that way. That's okay. Okay, so we already read for the first page. Here we go. Section 3, injunction and terms. This injunction shall be in full force and effect from until 4/4 of 26. This injunction is valid and enforceable in all counties of the state of Florida. The terms of this injunction may not be changed by either party alone or by both parties together. Only the court may modify the terms of this injunction. Either party may ask the court to change or end the injunction at any time. Any violation of this injunction, whether or not at the invitation of petitioner or anyone else, may subject respondent, again, anti is respondent, to civil or indirect criminal contempt proceedings, including imposition of a fine or imprisonment. Certain willful violations of the court of this injunction, such as refusing to vacate the dwelling that the parties share. That's they don't share one, they're good there. Going to or being within 500 feet of petitioner's residence, going to petitioner's place of employment, school, or other place prohibited in this injunction, telephoning, contacting or communicating with petitioner is prohibited by this injunction. Knowingly or intentionally coming within 100 feet of petitioner's motor vehicle, whether or not it is occupied, defacing or destroying petitioner's personal property, refusing to surrender pew-pews and ammo, if ordered to do so by this court, or committing an act of DV against petitioner constitute a misdemeanor of the first degree punishable. Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, I have to do two. Great. So I had to do two puzzles. So I hate to ask, but if you guys could just tap your little fingers away, keep commenting, send your daily heart me's if you haven't. If you like to send gifts, you can send gifts. Even if you guys do like the very popular gift, that helps me in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how, but keep it moving so we can try to get through this, okay? Because next comes a warning, and I don't want to do that. Let me just say this, though. If you guys are not following my backup page, it is in my bio. Click that. Make sure you're following that. If by chance this shuts down, I will instantly go live over there. Just an FYI. My backup page is Angie Reviews, but it is in my bio, so follow that if you're not already. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to shut up and read, but just keep clicking and commenting and doing your due. Okay. First degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail, as provided by section blah 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 blah. Ow, thank you. Florida statute. In addition, it is a federal crime or a federal criminal felony offense punishable by up to life imprisonment, depending on the nature of the violation, to cross state lines or enter Indian country for the purpose of engaging in contact that is prohibited in this injunction. Ordered and... Thank you! Oh my God, that was so beautiful. Now, this is what was ordered. All of that was like pre-warnings. Okay? This is what is ordered. Number 1, violence prohibited. Respondent shall not commit or cause any other person or cause any other person to commit any acts of DV against petitioner. Kiara. DV includes assault, aggravated assault, battery, aggravated battery, SA, schmexual, AAA batteries, stalking, aggravated stalking, the napping, false imprisonment. I'm trying to make it friendly. Or any other criminal offense resulting in physical injury or to petitioner or any of petitioner's family or household members. Respondent shall not commit any other violation of the injunction through an intentional, unlawful threat, word, or act to do violence to the petitioner. Okay, number 2. No contact. Respondent, anti. I'll try to say names instead of, Anti shall have no contact with petitioner unless otherwise provided in this section, or unless paragraph 13 through 19 below provide the contact connected with the temporary parenting plan and temporary timeshare with respect, with respect to the minor child. A, unless otherwise provided herein, respondent shall have no contact with Kiara. Anti shall not directly or indirectly contact Kiara in person, by email, or by mail, by email, by fax, telephone, through another person, TikTok, social media, or any other matter. Further, anti shall not contact or have third-party contact anyone connected with petitioner's employment or school to inquire about Kiara, or to send any messages to Kiara. Otherwise provided herein, anti shall not go to or in or within 500 feet of petitioner's address, which is redacted. Any other residence of which petitioner may move, petitioner's current or any subsequent place of employment or place where Kiara attends school, list of address, school, blah, blah, all that's blacked out. Where petitioner's minor child goes often. Sorry, guys. I am trying really hard to do the petitioner respondent, their names, but it's a little tricky. There's nothing in B. Number 3. That's NA. That's about pew-pews. That's NA. He must not have one. B, LDM. Respondent, anti shall surrender any pew-pews or ammo in the... What? Oh, sorry. I'm throwing myself off. Okay, you guys know the respondent is anti. The petitioner is Kiara, because that's throwing me off trying to do it. So let me try it again. Respondent shall surrender any pew-pews or ammo in the respondent's possession to the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Department. C, other directives relating to pew-pews or ammo. A compliance hearing shall be scheduled for December 17th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in courtroom, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to give you all the information. If the certification is filed by the St. Lucie Sheriff's Office before the hearing shall be canceled. Basically, he needs to turn them in, and if he doesn't, then they go to court. Note, anti is advised that it is a federal criminal felony offense to ship or transport in interstate or foreign commerce, or possess in or affecting commerce any pew-pew or ammo, or to receive any pew-pew or ammo which has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce while subject to such an injunction. Number 4, evaluation and cancel. All of that says NA. I think that would be something that would need to be done. All of this is also denied. Oh, just like the video. Although respondent meets the statutory mandatory battery, denied. So no, looks like no classes. Transfer possessions of home, denied. They're in different homes. Personal items, denied. They don't have to do that. The following other personal possessions, denied. Others denied. Temporary parenting plan or time sharing. NA. Jurisdiction to determine issues relating to parenting plan and time sharing with respect to the minor child listed in 13 below is proper under Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction and Enforcement Act. B, NA. Jurisdiction is exclusive to the dependency court, and according to no order is made herein. Denied. Number 13, denied. temporary parenting plan for a minor child, except for that time sharing, if any, specified for the other parent in paragraph 14. Bases have. That's so weird. Okay. Below, and there's a box. You either mark petitioner or respondent shall have a temporary basis, have 100% of the timeshare with the parent's minor child listed below. So it must come up later. At this point, principal, I tried to share with you, love, but I couldn't. We're reading the RO for Kiara and Anti. Okay. Temporary parenting plan for minor child was not requested in the petitioner. Temporary parenting plan for minor child was not requested in the petition or supplemental petitions. However, a paternity action is filed in blah, 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 blah. Time sharing. Oh, it shall be addressed then. Okay. Next, when requested by a parent to whom the majority of the overnight time sharing and the children's reward, that's all denied because it'll come up next. This whole page is denied. Do you guys want me to read through all of the stuff that was denied or just skip it? We're reading the RO for Anti and Kiara. Should I skip it or do you guys want to skip it? Okay. Because this is a whole page of denied. Okay, now let's go to part 2. Kiara's limited DVRO part 2. All of this is denied too. Temporary parenting plan of timeshare the minor child. It doesn't say actually who has the custody of the kid. Denied. This is all their timeshare stuff. All denied. Exchange of minor child denied. Everything's denied. The next page is denied. Respondent shall be required to maintain health insurance. Nothing on there. Child support not requested. Everything denied. Shall pay temporary court-ordered fines denied. Temporary child support or alimony denied. Interesting. Okay. Section 4, other special provisions. There's nothing there. Section 5, directions to law enforcement officer in enforcing this injunction. Number 1, this injunction is valid in all counties in the state of Florida. Violation of this injunction should be reported to the appropriate law enforcement agency. We read over this last time, so I'm not going to read that one again. Number 2, the injunction is enforceable in all counties of Florida, and law enforcement officers may effect arrest pursuant to action blah, 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 or section blah, blah, blah. The arresting agency shall notify the state attorney's office immediately after arrest. Reporting alleged violations. If respondent violates the terms of this injunction and there has not been an arrest, petitioner, which is Kiara, may contact the clerk of Circuit County of the county in which the violation occurred and complete an affidavit in support of the violation, or petitioner may contact state attorney's office for assistance in filing. Respondent, which is Anti, upon service of this injunction shall be deemed to have knowledge of and to be bound by all matters occurring at the hearing or face of this injunction. Number 5, the temporary injunction, if any, entered into this case is extended until such time as service of the injunction. Number 6, this is a custody order for purpose of the UCCJEA and all statutes making it a crime to interfere with custody orders or Chapter 787. I'm so confused that it says that because it literally just said There's no custody, no visit, no parenting time, no share time, I think is what they call it. Anyways, let me just keep reading and shut up. Petitioner, which is Kiara, and or his or her attorney, by hand delivered in open court. Respondent was also hand delivered in open court. And that's it. You want to come up and explain, advocate? I'm assuming that there's going to be more paperwork, or they're going to do something else, because Sid, I learned nothing. I'm with you. But lucky us, we have the internet advocate, and they're going to share with us and explain it.
Hey there. So, what it means is I've been doing these for 37 years. So, what it means when there's a limited one, I don't know if you have the court's notes, if you've seen those, I posted them. And what the judge had done is she made basically a mutual no contact order between them. Mm-hmm. And because she did that, she had to grant the DVRO.
Right.
And that's why it's so limited. So, everything that Kiara was asking for on the DVRO, as far as the custody, the child support, him not having no visitation, and then she wanted a psych eval done, she lost all of that. It was all denied. Right. But because the court on its own motion did a no contact order, making it mutual between them, then they had to enter her motion for the no contact. So it's kind of silly, but because she filed that, it still has to be heard. And so the first one supersedes the second one. It's basically what it is.
So yeah, listen, we were just talking about you, love. I don't think he's mentally stable for one-on-one faith. Well, I think, we have to, we have to let the courts decide and determine that. I don't know. I think, and this is what I was talking about. Hold on, stay on with me, Internet Active. So I'm going to talk to you. But I was just saying, like, at the beginning, can you imagine, though, if I don't agree with his behavior right now. He's acting out right now. But again, he can't see his child. And it's like, it's been like hanging by, the child's been around multiple other men, staying with Jenny, at parties, doing whatever. He's scared for his kid. I'm assuming, I don't know. I just think I think it's crazy to me. I'm not saying that he's the best person in the world, or that she's the best person, because she's making many, many mistakes too. So I don't know. So, okay, back to internet, because I just pulled your page up.
Okay. So as far as when they were talking about the UCCJEA, that's a Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction Act. That basically says that, for example, Kiara couldn't move back to Wisconsin without the court's permission. Neither one of them can take the child out of state.
Or it could be looked at.
Yeah, so it could be looked at as parental kidnapping. So what they're saying on that is that's still in effect. They can't remove the child at this point because there is a custody action going on. And I know that the court refers to it in Florida as a paternity action, but it's the same thing as a custody action. They're joined together. And a lot of people have asked me, well, why hasn't he applied for temporary visitation all this time? Well, he couldn't.
Right.
The courts run very slow. And because there was not a stipulation between them that he was actually the father, and in Florida, they actually, even if you have a affidavit of paternity, they also can force a DNA test to be done. That's just not enough. And it's not enough to be on the birth certificate either. Right. They really want to know who the father is. And that didn't even take place until mediation. That was the only thing stipulated to in mediation, was that she agreed. So at that point, they had to wait until this last court hearing to get an order from the judge signing off on it, saying, okay, it's now an order. So prior to that, like, he filed 2 emergency orders and they were denied. Why were they denied? Because there was no proof of paternity yet.
Oh,
So
and
he couldn't.
hold on really fast. I just want to make a statement really fast. You guys, keep it nice in the chat. I adore Allison. You guys know that. If you guys were in here from the beginning, I was praising Allison up and down. We may not always see eye to eye, but Allison is always very welcome over here. I adore her. And anybody else, again, the thing that I love about this is we can have differences of opinion, right? Because if everyone thought the same, that would be dumb, right? How boring would our world be? Let's just keep it cute, and and that's fine. If you guys choose to unfollow, that's fine. We know that her and Anti, go live and whatnot, but that's okay. I just don't want Allison being bashed in here. Just keep it cute, keep it respectful, and we just keep it moving. That's how we do over here, okay? Okay. Sorry, love. Go ahead, because I love when people come up and talk about this for us. Let me follow you back. Okay.
So basically, I mean, I've had that question. It's like, well, I don't understand. Why didn't he file soon? Right away. He filed and opened this case, but why didn't he file for temporary visitation? His hands were tied, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They were tied. And that's what people don't understand. The court system runs very slow. Anybody that's been involved in it, if the calendars are full, it could be months and months, before he's even heard. And so this isn't, you can't blame Anti, you can't blame this attorney because they're doing the best they can with what they're working with. But now he's gotten the green light to say, okay, we address this. I'm not taking temporary custody. I'm not doing, the support. I'm not doing any of that. Go ahead and file in the meantime. There's your green light right there. Paternity has been established. So go ahead and ask for your temporary visitation.
Yeah, because I was shocked reading through that, how it had absolutely nothing to do with visitation, nothing to do with nothing. It was really basically neither one of you guys talked to each other. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all it was. No child support, no nothing, no any type of visitation, not even supervised visitation if that's what was needed. Have them do supervised visitation. And I grasp, you guys, and I said this in the beginning, but we have a lot more people in here. I grasp the way that he is handling right now is not the best look. I get it. I agree with you.
Correct.
But again, I also want you guys to put yourself in your shoes, and a lot of us are mothers. Let's say the father of your child picked your child up and didn't give the baby back. Not only not gave the baby back, gives you no information, won't allow you to see the child, and he's changed his life a lot in order to be able to be there and provide for his child. Everything that baby needs is in that home, but instead of her utilizing him to watch the child, the baby's going to a tattoo shop at 1 o'clock in the morning, sitting in a car seat. The baby's been around multiple other men. Now the baby's in party type situations. Thank you, Sonny. Parties, at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sonny said herself, oh my God, the baby is so good. She just wakes up and just sits there and just kind of looks around and kind of plays with herself and then goes back to sleep. And someone said, well, why did she bring the baby to the party? And Sonny's exact words were, what else is she going to do with her? It's not like the baby has a father figure. She doesn't have a father figure, Sonny. She has a father. Correct. She has a father that could watch her, but instead she's dropping her off with Jenny or has these random people in here, you know what I'm saying, taking care of her, whatever the case may be. And I think it's completely unacceptable. And I myself would freak me out if somebody did that to my child.
I agree with you.
I can't blame him. Yes, I wish he would crash out. Shelves! I wish he would crash out not on live, but we can't control what he does. So that's my point.
Correct. I agree with you 100% on that.
Okay.
I think, there was a video, and I don't know how many people saw it because she took it down pretty quickly. And some of her supporters, were telling her, you should probably take this down. And it was back when she was in Wisconsin and when she was, going back and forth whether she was just going to have people pack up her house and move her out there. And there was a lot of stuff going on during that time. But what she did post on her own, and she did a video, which was they were talking about getting a restraining order, how she was going to get this DVRO against him. And somebody had asked her, would you lie? She said, I would do whatever I needed to keep sole custody. I'm a package deal. So if you don't want us, then you won't get either one of us. And then somebody told her, you should probably take that down. And she did, but not before somebody grabbed it and they got it over to him. Wow. So I think that played a big part, because those were some of the videos, which is my understanding, that went before the judge. That's a huge impact for a judge to say, wait a minute. And I really feel like that plays part in why, it was so limited. And what people need to understand is when you go in for one of these orders, whether it be a DVRO or a stalking harassment one, there's several opportunities the judge will say. You can admit guilt and just have it entered. You can go ahead and not admit guilt and have it entered. Or you can fight it and show evidence. Just because one's entered does not make you guilty. And that's what people need to understand.
Exactly.
Nothing on there says, and because it's so limited, on what was ordered, nothing on there says he caused any harm to her. He was not physical with her. So people need to understand that just because a DVR is in place does not mean there was a physical altercation. That everything that she was accusing him of, and I don't know how many people read, I did post that petition of what she was accusing him of. Oh, it was crazy to me.
Did you? Where? Let me see if I can find it, because I'm on your page. Yeah, because it does say that, sorry, real fast. AA, if you're in here and you want to come up, you're welcome. You're always welcome to come up. You don't ever need an invite. AA Law Talk is one of our besties. She's she's an attorney, a family law attorney out of California and Oregon. Love her.
Yeah. Great.
Is this it? Hold on.
I can tell you one of them was they were in Planned Parenthood. She went there with Des for a pregnancy test, is what she says. She says, Anti pulled up, was hitting his horn. So she went out there to see what he wanted. She had him come in so he could see the baby. As he was holding the baby, I guess words were exchanged. It was starting to get a little heated. She took the baby back, put the baby in the car seat, and at that point he left, but she said not before he threw a chair at her.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, and so in her petition, she said she was trying to get video footage of it. Now, I will tell you that if that had happened, then they would have called the police right away, and she would have had video footage, and she had no video footage of anything.
They admitted right after that. Des lied and said that she made that up. She said that didn't happen. That wasn't true. Oh my gosh.
And yet she still put it in her petition afterwards.
And there's all that footage of her admitting that was all a lie. Because, Anti had told her, because she would say, why don't you just come over to the house? And Anti said, I would love to, but I'm not going to, because you always accuse me of putting my hands on you, and I'm not going to do it. She says, I bought all the cameras to put up to protect you. Not to protect her, but to protect you from me saying that. That's exactly what she said.
And yet there wasn't any, cameras in there and this was another allegation, that there was a laser beam that she believed was on a pew-pew.
Yeah.
Pointing through her window in the house. Now, if she's got these cameras all set up, why isn't any of that on there? Or when he came to the door, nothing is on there showing.
Because Wavy said when he stayed there for that week or two or whatever, he said she does not have one camera in her house.
Oh. These are all made up stories. And this is another thing she mentioned. She said when she was pregnant, she thought she was going to lose the baby. They were in there. That security had to remove him from the hospital because he grabbed her face so hard, squeezing it, that it made all her gums start bleeding. And so a nurse called security, security removed him. Now, I will tell you, I've done this for 37 years, working within the hospitals, working within the courts, everything with victims. They are mandated to call law enforcement, not security, but law enforcement.
Exactly.
And if he
Yeah.
had been witnessed, he would have been arrested, not escorted off.
Right.
But just a couple days later, there's video of her doing her follow-up appointment with, I assume, her gynecologist.
Yeah.
And if he would have squeezed her face as hard as she claimed to make her mouth actually bleed, she would have been bruised. Nothing. She had no makeup on, no filters on, no nothing.
Yeah.
And there was nothing there. And so I understand why he didn't want her supervising visitations, because she was trying so hard to set him up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's done everything he needed to do. And as hard as it is, he wants to see his child so bad.
He does.
But it's not worth.
He just keeps saying, I'm just going to play it cool. I'm going to play it cool. We just have to get to November 21st. I'm playing it cool. And then November 1st didn't happen. Then they went to mediation, which Kiara said how many times, I don't care what they say at mediation. I'm not agreeing. I am not going to agree. We will take it to trial, which is why I always say this is going to be the 2026 Bree and 2K type situation. And judges do not take kindly to you not agreeing to anything. Now, I don't know what he stated that he wanted in mediation, but he has even said, I would be happy with, she had some dental work she needed to get done. I'll watch the baby. Just let me watch the baby. Will you go to the dentist so you can pick him up? You have a doctor's appointment. I'll do that. You want to go out and hang out with your friends? Go ahead. I'll watch the baby, and absolutely not. She will not let him do it, but she lets everybody else. She dropped the baby off with Jenny, which is Fly and Red's mom. That baby doesn't know that lady from Adam.
Well, that's not a safe environment anyhow.
Right.
With
neither is the baby sitting there at a party with 15 to 20, or Wi-Fi'd out individuals, and she's just locked into her little seat, mom nowhere around. She's just eyes wide and just batting back and forth like, what am I going to do? The baby's really concerning. It's terrible.
Yeah. It's definitely concerning what's going on. I do think that she's going to be very humbled here very soon.
Exactly.
Now I know originally he was looking at, wanting sole custody because of what was going on, but that was based on the emergency order when he asked for sole custody, because he really thought she was taking the baby out of state, not coming back, and
I'm glad there was a stop to that, because
and so she knew that she had correct, and she knew through her attorney that she had to be back within 30 days. In Florida, you can vacation up to 30 days. And I think, that's what he was trying to say is we don't think that she's coming back. But again, he didn't have anything to say he was actually, technically the father yet in place. So they're going to deny it. They're going to say, well, we're going to deny this because there's no standing right now.
Right.
On this. It's still up for grabs. We haven't even discussed anything. So, because for me too, I was thinking, oh my gosh, there needs to be a pickup order, on this. This is crazy. She's not planning on coming back. And I think eventually it would have moved forward if she would have stayed, and they would have eventually got to that pickup order.
Exactly.
But I think he's doing everything that he needs to be doing, as difficult as it is.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think if he's going to crash out, he needs to do the crash outs off social media.
Yeah, because she'll use that against him and put it in different ways. And again, his crash outs is like, he's like, whatever he says, picture this. You're leaving your baby, with a random individual, Jenny, who's been known to, be Wi-Fi'd as well. Picture this. You have a baby at a party at 1:00 in the morning where everybody is zooted out of their mind, and the baby's strapped in a car seat. Like, what are we doing? I'm her father. Correct. I can take, so he's crashing out. But again, I can't.
But he's not violating.
I just can't say I wouldn't do it. Too. I think I would. I think I'd be worse. Oh wait, I love you. The Florida court
I
took
agree.
jurisdiction, but it doesn't appear to me there is a restriction to travel at all. I thought I read in there that they cannot leave the state of Florida. Let me see. You would know better than me, AA. I'd have to. I'd have to.
The only clause that I saw was under the UCCJEA as far as custody, but there is no temporary custody that was given in the DVRO at this point. So
I'm in Washington State. Hi Miranda. So things are very different. I'm very familiar. I've been a social worker myself for 30 years. I deal with this stuff all the time. I've never seen a case like this where the RO is granted. It was a mutual one, right? So it's not like where it's Bree and 2K where she has one but he doesn't. But I've never seen it to where somebody isn't granted, custody of the child while they go through the process. Right now, it just seems like whoever,
And I think it was based off of the evidence because they had until the 17th of last month to turn in all that evidence, anything they wanted to be reviewed. And then after that, she wasn't looking or considering anything. And then they heard, I guess, Kiara's testimony. And that was it. She made her decision. But it looks to me like she made the decision, according to the notes, on the mutual. And because Anti never filed a DVRO against her, there was no mutual DVRO. But she did make that original order based off of what the judge can do. They can make their own motions and orders, doing a mutual between them, which was no contact and no posting anything on social media regarding the paternity custody case. Yeah. And as long there's nothing on there, and people need to understand that each state is a little bit different. I've worked in various states doing these, but each state's a little bit different. California, for example, they have, when it says no contact, their no contact is you can't even speak about the other person.
Right.
Type thing. This one doesn't address this. Florida ones do not even address that. It's just no contact. There's nothing that says you can't talk about the other party. You just can't what this says is you just can't discuss the custody issue.
Yeah.
So, but I do agree that they don't need to be talking about each other, period, because it is not going to look good in court if they're bashing each other.
Exactly.
That's going to end up hurting them in the end.
Yep.
I think they need to work at really wanting to co-parent. And I do think that when the order goes in for visitation, a lot of times in different courts, I've seen it when it comes down to even on the temporary DVROs when they set things up. Sometimes it's every 2 days. But I think initially, a lot of judges will do it where there's no overnights right away, just getting the child used to.
Right.
The other parent that hasn't been in the picture, getting comfortable again.
We usually do a step-up plan. Especially since a child is so young, right? So start with even if they needed to do supervised visitation. And I've always been honest with this. I'm not an advocate of supervised visitation. Not long term. I think short term in the beginning, good, right? Because you don't get a full actual scope of what's really happening in a supervised visit. It's just awkward. There's someone else there. Right? Anyways, it's a whole different story. But I feel
if he was going to have to be supervised, it would be because there was actually physical abuse going on in the home, putting the baby at risk. Then I would say yes. You put that baby at risk with physical violence going on. Yeah. Then yes, there needs to be some sort of supervised visitation. But that wasn't the case, and the judge made that clear. There is they didn't give her, anything. No temporary custody, no support, no. Nothing. Any of those things.
Well, and she has said so many times too. She's like, I don't care what happens in mediation, what they say. I'm not agreeing. I will not agree. We will take it all the way till trial. And I'm like, well, that's not good either. And not only that, just I don't know. Was it about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, max? She was begging for him back.
Oh yeah.
And then because he wouldn't take her back, he's like, no, Every time I'm around you, you accuse me of something that I haven't done. I don't want you. I want to see my child. And as soon as that happened, and then she started boohoo crying and blah 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 blah. That's when she went about filing all this stuff, and then had man after man after man after man around the baby. Well, how do you not expect the man to crash out when all he wants to do is see his baby, and she's like dangling the baby by a carrot on here just from to see. Thank you, Pinky. It blows my heart. I know.
She's doing everything to trigger him.
Yeah, exactly. So she's intentionally trying to trigger him for him to act out. I can't.
I agree 100%. And he's pretty much, just left her be. Even when I did see him in the beginning, battling, he didn't talk to her. She tried, but he just wouldn't. He wasn't going with it. Like, he's just not vibing with it. He just doesn't want anything to do with her. I think he wants to be able to co-parent in a healthy way for the sake of the baby.
Of course.
But she just doesn't. She claims she does, but she just doesn't. It's very clear that she doesn't.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And she's kind of got this new, she's new friends, and she's out and about, and which is great. I think that is so important. But then leave the baby with the dad so that you can go and do that. Let him have that time. You get to have your time. It's a win-win for everybody. To me, but I'm old, right? But to me, it just makes so much sense. You go party and hang out and do your TikToks, make your money, do whatever it is you have to do. You don't have to worry about the baby being there. Listen, you guys, children get hurt. Unfortunately, hold on, maybe TikTok friendly. Things happen, right? You have a party with, I don't know, we're just going to say 20 people there. I didn't see Kiara buy that baby a whole heck of a lot. The baby was just in a damn car seat. And I'm not saying this happened or happens to anyone there. I'm just saying in my 30 years of my career, I have seen and heard and read some shit. Anything could have happened to that sweet baby. Because everybody was zooted, and that no one was paying attention to the baby. Something could have very easily happened, and it's mind blowing to me. And Anti just took a UA on live. On live, he took a UA and he passed, except for THC. THC is the only thing he tested positive for, which he said he would, because he has a medical card.
Correct.
I would like to see Kiara do the same.
Well, my understanding, she didn't pass when CPS was there. So they still have an open case. Yeah. And I think that's going to hurt her too. There is nothing in regards to their challenging Anti regarding the care of, the baby in any way, not even the first few months when he was there. But they are sure challenging her on her decisions. And that's all going to affect the outcome as well, because the court is going to look at what is in the best interest of this child. And they're definitely not going to put up with the weaponizing, using this child to get back, at the other parent, because that's exactly what she's doing, is weaponizing that baby.
Hi, AA Lot Talk. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Meet my new friend, the Internet Advocates.
Hello.
She had the docs I needed, so.
The document.
I figured you would. So I'm curious on your point.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to. The interesting thing about this order is that it calls out the UCCJEA, which I don't know if you will recall, but we talk about that a lot in Brian 2K's case, because everybody asked if they can move that case to Texas, and I'm like, well, not really, because of this uniform, and it's uniform. It's across all the states. The states have adopted, all but I think 2 states have adopted their own version of the UCCJEA. I think Massachusetts is one that does not participate, which makes things really tricky. But it doesn't appear to me like there's any restriction on travel. But, and I haven't seen all the documents, and I did come in halfway through. What the court said was that they're taking jurisdiction, and also they said something in there about dependency action, which says to me that CPS has an open case in the courts that nobody would be able to see. Now, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know much about these two, but that indicates to me that CPS is the one who's determining who gets visits and when.
Oh, interesting. That would make sense.
But I don't know, though. I don't know, and I don't know if they would say that or what. But anyway, the court in Florida is assuming jurisdiction. So, but that does not restrict. I just want to be clear. That does not restrict mom from traveling. There would be no kidnapping or custodial interference. There would be nothing. There's no restriction on her travel. It's just that the court in Florida is the one who's going to be determining the parenting time at some point.
Yeah.
So
But
that was my
is
main
a law in Florida, because I was looking it up when he was doing the whole emergency thing. And there is a law that says, and I think that's what his attorney was going off of. There is I'll have to look it up again, but there's a Florida statute out there that basically says that they can't pick up and move out of state while there's an action pending. However,
that's not,
they can vacation up to 30 days. And I think
that's not a thing. That's not a thing. But there is something called a temporary order of restraint, which is not a restraining order, but generally what that does is it says you can't change the daily schedule of the child, and you can't change the visitation that was occurring previously of the child, and that's generally like an automatic thing that goes into place, but it doesn't restrict travel in any capacity, and it depends on their facts in this particular case, like if she actually has a residence. Again, I don't know much about these parties, but if she has a residence that's in Florida, she wouldn't be able to change like the usual residence. So she would generally need to stay in the area if she lives there. But it sounds to me like she kind of maybe is a little bit nomadic. I don't really know. That's a nice word of me saying that she maybe doesn't have a concrete place. I don't know.
She lives in Florida right now, but she's from Wisconsin. And so that's where her mom lives. That's where she was from. And so her thing is she just takes off to Wisconsin, sometimes for months at a time. She did it during the end of her pregnancy, she does this thing like, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so terrible here. I have to get out of here. I need money. I'm needing money. And she gets $5,000 or whatever, and then uses that to go home to get away. And then right before she was to give birth, then she was like, you guys knew I was going to go back. Like, I have the nursery and everything set up. I just wanted to come see my mom. And then goes back home and then does the same thing. And she does it every few months. And she just takes off.
If she does it every few months, then she could still do that every few months. So that order that I think is being referred to is relating to specifically once an action is filed, you generally can't. And what that really is meant for is not situations like this, because that statute actually probably harms more. What that is meant for is like, let's say you're living with your partner and you guys have a kid, and your partner does a lot of the daily care, right? Like, let's say that your partner's the one that gives nightly baths or every other night baths, and you're the one that does like the kids to school. And then you guys decide to split. The TPOR basically says, okay, you have to allow the kids this general time with the other parent because this is what has been occurring. It's often called a status quo. In California, it's a temporary order of restraint. It's called a temporary order of restraint in Oregon too, or a status quo order, and it's the same in Florida as well. But it's not a restriction on travel. Also, generally, when those are signed by the court, you have to have a parenting plan in them. But I see a lot of times that there is no parenting plan. And this case probably is more complicated because they need to establish paternity first.
Well, it's been done. It's already been done, and that's what the judge just did a ruling on it this last hearing. Put in for an order for it because at mediation, that was the only thing that was stipulated to.
Yeah.
That she was fully willing to stipulate. She really
good, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she must know about the 30 days because when she was in Wisconsin, she kept saying, I only have 30 days. And when it was coming up, why is my thing not charging? When it was,
Her
oh, there we
attorney,
go.
she said her attorney told her she only had 30 days.
Yeah, she's like, I got to get back to Florida. I have to be back to Florida within the 30 days or I'm going to be in trouble.
How old is the baby again?
Like, it,
6 months.
oh, is it, she's 6 months? Yeah, I knew she was
Yeah,
like under 8 months, 6 months. Do you know that she took that baby to a tattoo shop at 1 o'clock in the morning? And then,
You know,
and then
this
she,
this case is a little bit mind blowing to me. So
it is
it's another
crazy.
Brie Olson case.
Yeah,
It really is.
and then she lays the baby lays the baby in like the baby in the bassinet or crib or whatever with the iPhone propped up, and she has said that she's like she just likes to lay in there and watch the iPad. Well, while Wavy was over there, the baby got the iPad cord wrapped around,
oh my
and she tried
god.
to wake her up because Kiara stays up all night and the baby sleeps all day. So she just hands her a bottle and the baby just watches the iPad and just lays there. At first I was like, dude, no way. But now I'm seeing her at all of these events, and sure shit enough, that baby sits in that car seat, buckled up, just looking at everything. And then Sunny said, I said this earlier, Sunny said, oh my God, it's the easiest baby. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't cry. She literally wakes up and she just plays with herself for a while and then just puts herself right back to sleep.
Does anybody know when CPS was involved or like came or started their investigation? Does
I can
anybody?
tell you there was an open case when she left to Wisconsin this last time because there was a card left on her doors, what I heard. And she freaked out. And that is when I was serving her with a stalking order on another person I was helping. And she got served and she freaked out and said, I've got to go, I've got to go, I've got to leave now. So she never went to the stalking order hearing. She made it to Wisconsin. She was avoiding child protection services. And I think that's why, and that's when she started talking about, I think I'll just get Mover, to go
But
get
it
my
sounds.
stuff.
But in the and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the restraining order, um, doesn't the judge say that there's a dependency that the custody will be determined by dependency?
I didn't see anything about a dependency.
I feel like I did. I feel like I got hold on, I gotta pull it
Because
back up.
that's what made me pause is when I heard that. I was like, oh, she's got.
It may be. I've been reading through so many documents, so.
Yeah,
And
because
I
I
have.
thought it was I've never read an order like this where it's like everything is denied, 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 besides don't talk to each other. This could have been the shortest R
Yeah.
ever. Just don't speak to each other in any way, shape, or form, but everything else is denied. But I feel like
I
I do
think if
remember reading
anti,
there being about a dependency.
and I
Yeah,
think
I
if
think.
anti had filed a DVRO, then it would have been mutual through the actual DVROs. But because the judge did it on her own and she did that motion of a mutual no contact order, again, there was no way not to deny. I mean, she couldn't deny the DVRO because she just made an order against him.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird. So the court
Yeah,
made
it
a
is
sua
kind of weird.
sponte order, and then it doesn't sound like it's sua sponte. It sounds like the court made an order based on the restraining order.
They did both. I mean, they made it clear that neither party is to. There's a no contact order between two. I can't see if I can pull it up real quick. But it says on like the minute order, it said a mutual no contact order between the parties that neither is to contact each other, nor are they to post on social media anything about the paternity custody matter. And then she entered the limited DVRO against anti, and the only thing on
Mm.
there was no contact. Everything else was denied, but for the exception of the pew-pews. He had to turn in the pew-pews, but that's just a standard when any DVROs entered, that they typically put those down.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty
Everything was
standard.
denied, and it was kind of crazy. I see them every so often, but typically when they're granted, like they're addressing everything,
Oh,
on their
no, they're not. So I don't know. I do this all the time. This is my job. but they're not. Usually the standard stuff is approved, and like whenever they request other orders, it's usually denied.
Yeah,
Generally,
and
but
he had requested that she receive sole custody, that he have a psych eval done, that he
but
pay
she
child
already has
support.
sole custody. That's also weird because she already has, by operation of law, sole custody.
Correct.
We're gonna go next year. We're gonna go over her expenses because this is mind blowing to me as well. Her expenses. Did you guys see this?
When I pulled those and took a look at them, I was floored. Like, are you kidding me?
Okay, so it says she claims that she makes $966.40 a week just off of TikTok. Now I didn't know, so I'm gonna put on here that she also does OF, Snapchat, CA, PP, the Mo donations, GoFundMe, etc. Okay, so let's just read through this really fast. Her gross monthly income is $41,8903. And then she puts nothing down for any bonuses, commission, allowances, disability, unemployment, blah, 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 blah. So $41,83. Then says present monthly income $41,8903. Monthly federal state withholding tax $80.47. FICA $259.72. Monthly Medicare payment $60.74. And then Florida statutes $493. So that leaves her with a net income of $3,788. Okay, remember that number. What the hell did I just do with it? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Let me write this down. My granddaughter took my pen off. I got a highlighter. Let's do this. Okay, so hold on. $3,788.10 is her income, okay? Now, her mortgage is $2,450.
So we're gonna end up negative. Is that?
Oh, we're ending up really negative. So now she has $1,338 left.
I love it when people do this. By the way, they do this all the time.
Yeah, $170 for electric, $60 for her telephone, $30 for repairs and maintenance, $25 for miscellaneous household, $900 for food and household supplies for home, and then $300 for meals outside the home. Or sorry, $350. Mind you, this is one person with a 6-month-old baby. You're telling me that you eat $1,200 worth of food? Anyways, let me keep going. And that subtotal for that is $3,985. So she's already overspent. But now let's get into her automotive expenses. Her gasoline is $175. Her auto tags and emission test is $5. $5. Where do they do that at? Florida, I guess. Her auto insurance is $350. Her car payment is $1,071. Alternative transportation, $25. I don't know what that is. If you're paying $1,000 on a car payment and $350, so it's $1,400 a month just for car. What alternative services do you need? $10 on tolls for a total of $1,636. $1,036, okay? And now we're going to go to, let me see, $35 on clothing, $125 on entertainment, movies, etc. Oh, $85 on cosmetics, necessary. And $160 on miscellaneous. That's a total of $405.
Well, and that's for the baby. So if you look at that, that's the baby's expenses.
Oh, children's expenses. What does the children need cosmetics for?
Exactly.
I didn't even notice that's the children's stuff. Where's the diapers? Let me see. Hold on. Let's read through this now that I know that it's for
the diapers is probably because there's a little piece in there that says includes diapers and wipes. So I kind of assume the miscellaneous might
Oh,
be the
that
diapers and
yeah. So these are the options that they have. So nursery, babysitting, daycare, zero. Well, we know that. School tuition, nothing. School supplies, nothing. After school, nothing. Lunch money, nothing. Private lessons, nothing. Allowance, nothing, obviously. And then clothing, uniform, $35 a month. Entertainment, movies, parties, etc. $125. She can take that out because that child don't go nowhere. But anyways, health insurance, nothing. Medical bill, nothing. Psychiatric, nothing. Vitamins, nothing. Beauty parlor, nothing. Non-prescribed medication, nothing. Oh, maybe she under cosmetic, toiletries, etc. Maybe that's she put $85. Maybe that's that. And then gifts, nothing. Vacation, nothing. Camp, nothing. Club, nothing. Timeshare, nothing. Orthodontics, nothing. Miscellaneous, $160. Okay, so now the next one is average monthly expenses. $20 on dry cleaning. $200 for clothes for Kiara. $35 for baby. $200 for Kiara. $150 for grooming, $20 for gifts. Baby K didn't get any, but pet expenses, $85, $20 for entertainment, $100 for vacations. Baby didn't get none though. For a total of $600. Okay. So that's the end of that. Let me do my old school math.
should be on the following page, but it subtotals, and then she's like deficit, like I don't know. I think it was like $2,600 and something dollars.
Oh, there's on this one. There's no extra page. That's okay because I can do old school math. 0, 1, 10, 26.
She was saying that she believed that he should be giving her at least $6,000-7,000 a month. Now, what she failed to report
Crazy.
what that is that he showed receipts for the first 5 months, because this was a month ago. The first 5 months that he had spent $15,000 and gave her $15,000 towards that baby. That's $3,000 a month if you average that out. Plus the additional when he was sending her more diapers and more wipes when she was calling saying, I need more wipes, I need more diapers. So she feels like she's entitled to at least $6,000-7,000, she said.
That's so unrealistic. So her total expenses are $6,600 a month. Her total income that she reports is $3,788. So she is overspending $3,112 a month. Anyways,
according to that, now she's failed to report a lot of those other social media pages that she's making money, and you know, her FO, all of that has not been reported.
Right.
So I think more than likely, you know, I just see it being audited. But I do, from what I've heard, is there's an open case on welfare fraud as well going on with her, because she's also receiving state assistance at the same time.
Oh.
So, and I know
that'll be a nice charge.
They're both on Medicaid, but she's obviously not reporting her income, clearly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she'd be way over income. A 2-person household is like, well, I don't know what it is in Florida. I know what it is here.
I
but
think it was like $2,600 a month for, you know, and I think it changes because when I was looking it up, as far as the income for stuff like that, for a baby under 6 months, I mean, it gets less as they get older, which is crazy to me. It gets a little bit less
in Florida.
Yeah, I went from 6 months to a year and it had decreased, and I thought that's crazy because as they're growing, they're going to need more. But maybe it changes as it gets further out. You know, I don't know. But from 6 months to a year, it had changed and it decreased. And I thought that's kind of weird.
I know in Washington, it's the same amount for everybody. You get an amount for 1 person, for 2 person, 3 person, 4. It's gone up, but it used to be $349, $440, $546, $642, $740. I think that's it. That was the cash benefit. You got food stamps on top of that and medical. But it didn't matter. Yeah, Anti showed that he gave her $15,000, and I think that's why she's stuck in her head that that's an average child support amount to get $5,000-6,000 a month. It's not. I mean, some celebrities and pro ballers may pay that. Yeah, Anti's not that. Not dissing on Anti. I don't know his pockets. I'm not pocket watching him. But to think that he would have to pay that amount of money is ludicrous. ludicrous. That's crazy.
His were more reasonable. Like he really turned in. He did, a long version, and he really was very thorough with his. Did he still have a deficit? Yeah. But when I looked at it, it almost looks like he's, in order to pay those high amounts, he may be dipping into his credit cards because income wise, it's just not there, what he's shown. But his credit card is maxing out, you know. So maybe that's where it's coming from. But I mean, his deficit's nothing like hers, but he does have a deficit.
Yeah. Crazy. The whole
Well, they
situation
should both be
is
careful about that because that's where credibility issues come into play. Because
I agree.
you have an argument with mom that either one, she's not telling the truth, or two, she shouldn't have custody of the child because she clearly can't afford it. So it's like one or the other, right?
Right.
And the same is true for him. So I mean, you really don't want to show a deficit. I don't care. You could, whatever your excuse is, or your argument is about credit cards. I mean, that's just number one. It's not sustainable. It's supposed to be backdated to a certain period of time. Really, they need to make it look reasonable and claim all their income. I would just venture to guess that both of them are probably withholding income, which is not wise to do.
Well, and income fluctuates so much on social media, and I don't know what all sites that they do. No, you guys, I absolutely positively do not believe for a shadow of a doubt that she's buying a $470,000 house. First of all, that would even be ridiculous to do. Why would you need a house that size when it's just you and a 6-month-old child? That would be dumb to just throw that money away. And clearly, if she was to buy a house, let's say, right? Let's just say she goes through with it, and she provides them a different financial document, because she wouldn't get approved based off of this financial document. But let's just say that she provides them a different financial document, and the courts find out, then there's going to be another issue.
Well, it's not the courts that'll find out, but like, for example, I always like to request in discovery loan applications for cars, loan applications for mortgages, loan applications, because that's where people inflate their income. And so, and then I generally would show, in court, hey, this is what, this is which one were you lying on?
Right.
And maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle, but oh, by the way, you also have some credibility issues now, because we know you've either lied to the court or you've lied to get a house. So which one is it?
Well, and she hasn't filed her 2024 taxes. That was something that came up too, and with her attorney, is that she still had not filed. They did turn in 22 and 23's tax returns. But she could not do 2024's because she has not filed. Now, she did bring that up. People started questioning her regarding buying the house, and she said, well, she couldn't really do it until she can file her taxes. Now, there she spoke up and said she made at least $120K a year for 2024. So, I mean, and she's publicly saying this, but we'll have to wait and see, because she's going to have to turn in that 2024.
Hold on a second. Ashley, we're all too old for what? What is it that we're all too old for? For going over stuff and trying to educate people on how the system works and what the best way is to go through and navigate through courts. We're too old for that. So people who have worked in the industry for decades should not come on and try to help younger people who are making massive mistakes that could actually affect their life. Don't do that. Just let them bug it up and find out, right? Just gonna bug around and find out. We're too old for that. If that's what you feel, you can scroll on. Listen, honey, I'll give you a tip. There's a few things on TikTok. Now, I don't know a whole lot about TikTok, but this is what I can tell you. You can do this. Scroll. Just do that, and I'm gone. If you're really irritated, just click not interested. If you really hate me, then you just click block. Mind my business, bitch, you're in my business. You're on my page. You're watching me. What do you mean, mind my business? You're in my business. So again, you have 3 options. Or, if you want to go for the big dog, you can get the golden ticket. Either one. So scroll along. Play nice. click block, not interested, whatever, you'll get the golden ticket. But don't come into my page. You came over here. I don't know who you are. You came over here. And then you tell me to mind my business. You're in my business. So mosey along. Anyway, sorry, ladies. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes people just blows my mind.
I think educating,
How do you know that? How do you know she doesn't know who? She knows exactly who I am. Her and Anti both know exactly who I am. But it doesn't matter. This isn't necessarily about educating them. Do you realize that they are not the only two people on this earth or even on TikTok that are going through the same thing? That's why people come over here. To try to learn and to understand. And when you have knowledgeable people, you have an attorney, you have a social worker. I'm not 100% sure of the internet advocate. I obviously see she's an advocate. She's a victim's advocate. So you have three very knowledgeable, talented people up here to help people give advice. I'm done wasting my time talking on you. So again, take your option before you get your golden ticket. Okay, sorry, ladies.
No, it's okay.
It just drives me nuts.
I think educating, putting it out there that, these are the things that you run into when, you can't co-parent and you end up in court.
It's what we do for a living, Ashley. It's what we do for a living, Ashley. We do it in our jobs as well. That's what we do. Then yeah, we volunteer our time. We come on here and help other people. You're not going to get it, so you'll get the golden ticket. Everyone say goodbye to Ashley. It's been fun. Deuces. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. Fucking sake, man. Jesus. Blows my mind. Anyways, I apologize, ladies. But sometimes when they come in like that, I got to let them know.
No, listen, I'm not trying to educate. I just am interested. It is what I do every day. I don't know. Whatever. When I have time, my kids are sleeping. I'm sitting in my office with all my papers around me, and I'm just chit chatting. I don't know. I have no shame in that. Sorry.
And it's what are we harming by coming on and telling people? Because every time people come on, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I had no idea," or whatever the case may be. And other people, when we start these dialogues, these conversations, other people will come in and be like, I'm going through something similar. Can you help with blah, 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 blah? Or I'll get a ton of DMs. I think it's amazing that we have people that come on here. We could just come on here and just talk crap about people. But what would that do? Monique, we're talking about Anti and 2K. Anti and Kiara. Yeah, we're talking about their RO and all of their custody stuff they have going on. But yeah, it is a whole lot of. And again, I don't want to go too long on this because I only have about another 45 minutes before I have to get off because I have some grands coming over and my voice is starting to leave again. And I've only been able to even move for less than 24 hours, so I don't want to push myself. But I want to say again, I know that Anti's actions right now are not favoring him, but I really want us to, again, think about what it is that he's going to and how Kiara is using that baby as a kid. She is doing anything and everything she can to piss him off. It's pissing me off, and I don't even know the baby. Like, I don't even want to see the baby. But to have a child at a tattoo parlor around multiple men at parties all of the time. It's not just like it was a one-time thing. Multiple times. She's trying to get him to crash out to help her case, but she's not helping her case by what it is that she's doing. So we just need to keep them in our prayers and hope and pray everything goes good. I'm assuming that there's going to be another court date coming up here soon, hopefully, so they can
There was one scheduled by the court for 12/17, but it's a compliance one. And basically what that was regarding the pew-pews, if the sheriff's department turns in a receipt saying that he brought what he had in, then they would cancel that.
Yes.
Which I assume will happen. Now, once he files, and my understanding today from what I heard was that he did file for the temporary visitation order. Him and his attorney did that, so I'm waiting to see. But I think once that's done, then of course it'll be set for a hearing. Maybe if we're lucky, maybe he'll get something before Christmas, but I don't have big hopes that, as busy as their court calendar is, that they will. But we can all cross our fingers, and hope that maybe he at least gets something, for at least a little bit of time on Christmas. That would be great.
Yeah. It's always hard this time. The schedules are so busy and all the days off through the holidays. It's tough.
I mean, I am curious, like, in terms of an emergency motion, I mean, I do think that there's cause actually in this case. That's what surprises me a bit about the domestic violence restraining order, because regardless of if the court entered a mutual no contact, there's still a restraining order against Anti, and that's not good for him seeking temporary emergency custody.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a big problem with mom, being out so late, and
Yeah, she's not definitely not doing good. But I think so. I know that there was one on him, but I believe there's one on her as well. I think they have a mutual, right?
Yeah.
Like they have the same rules. They just can't talk to each other. They can't go within so many feet of the car, like all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like they were both granted an order.
Correct.
Yeah, definitely. Prayers for baby Kai. That's who we should all need to be concerned about. Mama is baby Kai, because man.
And I don't really know Anti or either of them really, but is he? I mean, he's better equipped to, or the opinion of the people is that he's better equipped to handle.
Well, I think that they should have like 50-50 custody. Like, he's completely changed his life. He just took a rug test online. He passed besides THC, which he has a card for. His house is completely set up for her. She has everything she needs: crib, toys, bassinets, playmate, diapers, like everything. He has really changed his entire life around. He is ready to have the baby. But he's also said, I don't want to take her from her mom, but I don't want my baby at a tattoo shop at 1:00 in the morning. I don't want my baby at a house party 4 days out of the week. They went to the carnival, her and Kayla, and some random watched the baby while they were on rides. He's like, I don't want that. If you go do what you need to do, I'll watch her and then you can pick her up. I want to help. I want to be a dad, but I don't want my baby in dangerous situations. It's terrible.
The problem is, though, is when you go to the court seeking emergency temporary orders, your position cannot be, well, I don't want to take, the baby from mom. The position is that the child is in danger and needs to be removed.
Right.
And with dad.
Yeah, I think in that situation, he absolutely would do that, because when it first started, that was his thing, right? It was just like, I just want to see the baby. And then he saw the tattoo parlor thing, and then he was like, hold on. And then the fair came up where just little fairgoers are watching the babies. Like, they could have been gone in a minute. And then the house party stuff and the other men just staying at her house for weeks at a time. All of this stuff accumulative. Now I think he would be in the position to where, yeah, he would probably likely, if that was the option, the cord around the neck, like, that's crazy, because the baby lays in the play pass, whatever, the crib or whatever. That's where the baby sleeps, because Kiara stays up all night. And then the baby, Kiara sleeps all day, and the baby's just chilling in the bassinet. And this is her words. She put the bassinet in the baby's crib so she can watch it. She'll hand the baby a bottle. She sleeps. Thank God Wavy was there that day when the baby got it wrapped around her neck, and he heard the baby crying, so he went in there and got it off of her and woke her up. And he was like, Kiara, the baby had the cord wrapped around her neck. She's like, oh my God, thank God for not, thank you for not videotaping it. And went right back to sleep.
Correct.
I'm like, what?
When did that happen though?
Like what, last month and a half maybe?
Yeah, about 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And everybody reached out to me like, what do I do? What do I do? What should we do? Because that when they were there and she went out to go clubbing with Kayla, they had all been, getting high and drinking and stuff. And there was worry that they were going to put the baby in the car. That's when I first got contacted, like, what should we do? They've been drinking, they've been doing this all day long. Kiara was supposedly saying that the baby, it's really unusual because she had been sleeping for 17 hours, only waking up once or twice.
Yeah.
That they were concerned that she wasn't eating. And my first thought was, well, if they're all, getting high and smoking trees, doing their gardening, what's to say this baby's not getting contact high? And that's why she's sleeping so much too. Like there was concern there. And then all of a sudden I started receiving
Benadryl in the bottle or melatonin or.
Yeah. And then I started receiving pictures that people were clipping of the rugs on the table, a pew in the home, which she can't be around because she's got a stalking order against her as it is, with orders regarding being around any of that kind of stuff. So of course that was a huge concern, that came about. And so the best I could do was say report it. That's all I basically can tell you to do.
Yeah.
At this point. And that is when there was a welfare check done. Auntie had his welfare check done. But of course, they're not going to break down the door, and she wasn't there. And you do hear them talking about if anybody breaks through the door, what they're going to do, and they're going to pew them. And it was just crazy and chaotic. And yet he handled it so well. He stayed in the car. He didn't run up there, trying to get in or anything, but he waited for those officers. And I'm sure, because I have a friend who is a Florida officer there, and she says typically when they knock on a door for a welfare check involving a child, and they can't reach anybody, nobody's answering, they will also refer it over to CPS to follow up.
Right.
The very next morning, with like 5-6 hours later, CPS was at her door. And that's when they were doing, the rug tests. At that point. So yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I thought that if it was true, I thought that was crazy that they tested Wave, So now again, I'm in a different state, and CPS is not universal, right? Each state of CPS has their own rules, whatever. In my state, we would not have been able to. We could have asked them because they're not the child, or they're not the child's father, caregiver, etc. They were a visitor, and we could have asked them, do you want to do one? But there's no way we could have forced them to do one or whatever. The mother, yes, we would do them on site, but not not visitors. So I found that situation weird. I don't know if it ever happened. I don't know if it's posted. I literally have absolutely no idea.
Oh, yeah, young babies having babies.
Literally. And it just seems like, dude, it's like so much. Like Kayla admitted yesterday that she had already 15 open CPS allegations, and CPS showed up at her door again today. It is so much. Like I just can't fathom. It's like there's this whole group of girls all last in 2025 that had babies. Coco is doing great. Well, she needs to get rid of the dude. Like she needs to ixnay Memphis. She's doing great. Allison is doing amazing. Allison is taking great care of her baby. Absolutely. Don't have any complaints there. The rest of them all have CPS allegations. They have drug and alcohol issues. It is a whole lot to absolutely everybody that's going on. And it's sad because Yeah, DV issues, because it's the children that are going to suffer. We're adding on what? Childhood trauma, childhood trauma, childhood trauma. It's the whole thing is just a sad, scary situation.
Can you, in that restraining order, there in the part about the testing and parenting time, where there was a comment about the UCCJEA, but it was the first comment about the jurisdiction,
Okay.
not like the final one. There's something in there about dependency. I want to hear that again.
All right, let me see if I can find it here.
Okay.
You said it's in the first part, right?
Yeah, it should be right after the UCCJ thing came right after like all the visitation thing where they addressed that he could basically file at this point for visitation. So it's around there. Because it's almost like a little standard order when it talks about the UCCJEA. Just a standard thing.
Okay, here's UCJ. Jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is jurisdiction to determine issues relating to parenting plan and time sharing with respect to any minor child listed in paragraph 13 below is proper under Uniform Child Custody Jurisdiction enforced by UCCJEA. Then it says jurisdiction is exclusive to the dependency court, and accordingly, no other is made herein. But that also says denied. All of that was
I see. Denied. Okay, that's denied. Okay.
Yeah. Literally, absolutely, every single thing was denied except for where they said they basically have a mutual RO. They can't talk to each other.
I thought that it was saying, but at the end it readdresses the UCCJEA and says that it does have jurisdiction. Okay. Right at the very end.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go to that one.
Maybe not the very end, but I think it said there's like a blurb in there.
That's towards the end. On one of the last pages.
Okay, here we go. I'll read the whole whole last page, and then I'm going to have to finish. What the hell did I just do? I don't know. A bunch of laughy faces went up on my screen. If I laughed at your page, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. No, it's just, okay. They have these dumb buttons down here, and my fat finger hit it. Okay, here we go. Direction to law enforcement officers in enforcing this injunction. Is that what you're talking about? Because everything above that is denied. So we'll read that. Unless ordered otherwise by the judge, all provisions in this injunction are considered mandatory provisions. And thank you for the daily heart, guys. And should be interpreted as part of this injunction. Number one, the injunction is valid in all counties of the state of Florida. Violation of this injunction should be reported to the appropriate law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement officers to the junction in which a violation of this injunction occurs shall enforce the provisions of this injunction and are authorized to arrest without warrant pursuant to Section 901.15 Florida statutes. For all violations of this provision, except those regarding child support and or alimony, which constitutes a criminal act under Section 741.31 Florida statutes. When inconsistent with this order, any subsequent court order issued under Chapter 61 or Chapter 39 Florida statutes shall take precedence over this order on all matters relating to property division, alimony, parental responsibility, parenting, plan, timeshare, custody, Number two, this injunction is enforceable in all counties in Florida, and law enforcement orders may affect arrest pursuant to Section 901.156 Florida statutes. The arresting agent shall notify the attorney immediately. Reporting alleged allegations. If the respondent violates the terms of this injunction and there has not been an arrest, petitioner may contact the clerk's office to file it. And then it goes on to say, respondent upon service of this injunction shall be deemed to have knowledge of and to be bound by all matters occurring at this hearing and on the face of this injunction. Number 5, temporary injunction, if any, entered into this case extended until such time as service. This injunction is effected upon respondent. And then number 6, this is a custody order for purpose of the UCCJEA and all statutes making it a crime to interfere with custody under Chapter 787 Florida statutes and other similar statutes. And then it just says that they were handed the stuff in court. Is that what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, so that's just the court saying that they do have jurisdiction. But
yeah. So I don't know. Well, there we are. There we are. Yeah, we just need to keep. Yeah, Kayla too. So okay, so I want to wrap up on that because I only have a few minutes and my voice is fading. I don't want to lose it again. Me with no voice for days is terrible. Yeah, basically just a no contact order. That's all. So we have a few minutes. Okay, let's jump into Fly and Kayla then for a quick minute. You've been chaotic, me too. I've been sick. I've been off for like 5 days. I was in the hospital yesterday. I have been so sick. It has been crazy.
wait, you were in the hospital yesterday?
Yeah, I've been sick since Thanksgiving. I woke up on Thanksgiving Day with my throat hurting so bad. And then I had a hoarse voice for about 4 or 5 days and just felt real just achy, whatever. I'm like, I just have a cold or whatever. Well, here we are, week 2. And then Monday, I was so tired. I got done watching the grandbaby. And I just went and laid in bed. It was like 8 o'clock. I slept from 8 p.m. all the way till 7:47 a.m. I'm 52. We get up at least 4 or 5 times a night at my age to go to the bathroom. I did not wake up not one time. Like, I slept. And then that day, I had the grandbaby, but I was so fatigued. Like, I could barely lift my arm. Like, I was just, I felt horrible. And then my daughter, she's a nurse, so she came home and took my stats, and she's like, "No, you're going to the hospital." My heart rate was like 140. I had done nothing. All I'd done is sleep. My heart rate was 140. My blood pressure was like 145 over 115 or something like that. I was severely dehydrated.
Did they test you for?
Yeah, they test me for COVID, pneumonia, flu A and B, and all of those came back negative. But he just said that this is the stuff that's going around. It lasts anywhere from 1 to 8, 10 weeks.
Oh my God.
Don't overdo it. And here I come. I went right from babysitting, cleaned my house, did the laundry, hop on live for a couple hours, and now I have 2 of my grandkids staying with me for a week. So I'm always overdoing it, okay? But yeah, 2 weeks is a very, very long time. Actually, I think what we'll do, because I'll be back on live every day, is I'll wait and go into Fly and Kayla tomorrow so I can try to preserve what voice I have left and eat and get ready for the kids. So we'll stay on and we'll just chit chat for the next like 10 minutes, and then we'll go into Fly and Kayla, because that's not going to be a quick story. That's a whole lot of.
That one makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot believe he picked his car up, but I think it's what's best for her.
It is.
Because there's no longer a connection there, and she kept getting pulled over because the tabs weren't done. And he is so zooted. He just...
She will overcome. She will get through this, but it's just in the middle of it and not figuring, or not having to figure out, rather, how you're going to pull yourself up is tough. But
And that's exactly what she needed to do, was to get her own, right? So she got her own car now. Like she needs to be herself,
Mm-hmm.
not Fly's baby's mom or Fly's girlfriend. Plus, I also want to talk about Toxic and Vazi, I think his name is. That's just, to me, is just heart wrenching. What's going on over there? So there, I've been off for so long. There's so much to talk about. So, and I came on early today. I came on at 5:30. I'll try to do. No, I won't be able to come on early because I have two grandkids staying with me for a week. But I'll be on at 6:30 tomorrow, and we'll go. Tomorrow we'll do oh, Valet and Peanut. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother one. Tomorrow we're gonna focus on Fly and Kayla and Toxic and Vazzy, and then I'm also going to do individual videos of them as my voice allows me to do. So that way, if you guys can't stay on these hours long live, then you'll get it.
Well, I'm gonna jump down, but I'm gonna listen to you. If you're gonna stay on, I'm just gonna clean up my office.
Hi,
I'm going through all my
Doria.
files.
Yeah, I won't be on too long. I got some stuff I gotta do before the babies get here, and I think they get here at like 8:30 or 9. But thank you so much for coming up, and you're always welcome. I never have to say it. You come in, you want to come up, you just hit the invite button. You're always an auto accept. We
Oh,
adore
well,
you.
I'm just glad I caught you, and you were talking about one of my. I'm a big jurisdiction.
I know.
Not a lot of attorneys deal with that, but anyway.
I
All right,
love
I'm
your
gonna jump
knowledge
down and I'll
is
listen.
top tier. All right, love
They're
you.
hard to
Bye.
deal with. They're definitely hard
Yeah.
to deal with. We had to go through a UCCJA thing with my stepson, and moving a case from California, which is where it started, out to Wyoming after the mom had taken him out of state against a court order, and we had to do a pickup order. It was crazy to get it here once we got custody. I mean, we still had to fight with California to actually get it over here. So yeah, I commend you for taking any of those cases because they are, for an attorney, they are hard. They're not easy to get.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Thanks for having me up. I'll let
You're
you.
welcome. Come anytime. I haven't even really seen you much in the chat. I followed you back, but yeah, you're always welcome. I appreciate it.
And I pick up a lot of that, the forums. I can get them a little bit quicker.
Okay. Yeah.
Having access. So when I get them, I'm more than happy to forward them over to you so
Okay.
that you have them.
I'll DM you my email because I have several people that email them to me, but like I said, I've just been so sick I haven't even thought about it, to be honest. But I'll send you I'll DM you my email so that way you can send them to me, and then we can go over them. Whenever we go over them, then pop on up. Thanks for joining, love. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
You anytime. Bye. Yeah. So, anyways, that's all that's been going on with me. It's been a lot. I'm exhausted. I'm drained. I'm tired. What about you guys? What do you guys got about? Got about 5 minutes. Is there anything else you guys that's quick that we can talk about? Because I know if I go into, we could do Vazzy and Toxic super fast, super fast. Thank you, Yolanda. Me too. Shit, when I got to the hospital yesterday, they saw my numbers. WV Mama, thank you. Yes, I will upload this onto YT. Actually, can you guys do me a favor? Someone told me this a long time ago, and I don't know why I didn't just do it. I was like, oh, that's too much. Is to screen record. So I'll start screen recording it. That way I can put it up on YT instantly. Because to download it from TikTok sometimes can take hours. And then I gotta edit it. And then I move it over. When I say edit it, I just take out the first part when we're talking. It takes 2 seconds. But anyways, that's not the point. And then you upload it over into YT. And that takes, sometimes an hour or more. Anyways, but if I just have it screen recorded, and then they also get to see the comments too, because they always want to see the comments. But if you guys could remind me when you guys come in, first thing, if you can write screen record, then I'll remember and it'll be easier. But I will download. I'll start downloading it as soon as we get off. About Yeah, I'm not when I'm talking about toxic and Vazzy, I'm not talking about the disappointment of having a baby girl. Um, she was very. It was the conversations that were had after. Matter of fact, we'll save it for tomorrow because I do want to show you guys the videos. Um, she was very distraught. She was crying. She's like, excuse me. She's like, I have so much trauma. I'm assuming she's talking about with Fly, maybe. I don't know. Vazzy was extremely upset, and he's like, fuck that bitch. This is my daughter. How dare you compare me to somebody else? And I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. Yeah, I just hope she gets over that. And I've seen people in my career who have gone through things like if they've had something traumatic happen or bad happen during a pregnancy, they kind of feel like it's that gender, or a certain time, for instance, even in pregnancy, women say, I hate to even talk about stuff like this, but say it like 6 months and all of a sudden you miscarry, right? They get pregnant again, that you start panicking and triggering around that time. I think Vazzy is amazing. The way he talks with Kalaya, their relationship is so beautiful. And then I heard that Fly told Toxic just have Vazzy sign the birth certificate because Baby K said, "Can you just be my real dad? My dad can be my other dad. You can be my real dad." My heart. But in reality, he is her real dad because Fly has not been around. It's not been around. But if Vazzy's going to take off flying, leaving every time they get into a tiff or whatever, I don't know. And then Vazzy did say the same thing a lot of people say, all she does is sleep all day. You're not going to do that with my baby. Oh, God, I think they're here. Just kidding. I just had them for 4 days. I had them one day, no kids. Thank God that was the day I went to the hospital. Or maybe that was just the wind. Oh, I hope it was wind. I know, hide. I'm like, oh my God, I still have to go. I'm like, you guys know me. I'm crazy about my bedding. So anytimes, you can always interrupt shelves. Always. Especially when I'm sick. I need everything on my bed cleaned. And so that's what I'm doing right now is cleaning all of my bedding, and it's up in the washer. I gotta go switch it to the dryer and still make my bed before I get these kids to bed. Well, they'll probably sleep on it, but anyways, that's not the point. Yeah, everyone quiet. We won't answer the door. No, I'm excited for. This is one of those things. Remember, I tell you guys all the time. It's imperative for you guys to take trips if you have a good support system. I just didn't expect to be this fucking sick. Shelps, I thought you were interrupting. What happened? Well, not a week. What's today? Wednesday. So they leave tomorrow. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 4 days. Even if it's just being there. Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? My Shayla. Wait, what are you trying to say? All I got was, my Shayla, can I interrupt you even if it's just being there? What do you mean? You guys speak in full sentences. Oh, I think you did get filtered. You got it, because you definitely up for it. I am ready. Speaking of, Jasmine had my my throat. My second granddaughter just turned 6 on Sunday. So happy birthday to little Miss. No, Yolanda. No, he hasn't. Okay, text me, love. He hasn't. Thanks for bringing it up, though. I'm sure you know where he's been. You probably blocked him. Yolanda's a hater. Yolanda is so jealous of me and Al's relationship. It's getting serious. He already sent, oh, I don't have, well, I still got the note right here. He sent me mascara. I think next is, that's what I think. She made a whole video about it. Dogging out my Al. So what if Al loves Shelby and is always over in Shelby's live? He knows he really loves me. Oh, we're talking about Al, my internet boyfriend that I thought was a real person, Al, but it's really not Al. He was the AI, but that's not the point. We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that. He truly loves me. Yolanda's a hater. She didn't like Al, and I love him. He is my kind of man. Just took me 40 minutes to figure out I was talking to a stupid computer. I tell you, the things I do. I'm so glad Shelby couldn't figure it out because, okay, I'm so glad that Shelby didn't figure it out because I know he would have been like, this would have been Shelby. Click, disconnect. And then I see that Al's all up in him. Maybe Al likes a man. What? Oh, until 11 p.m. Absolutely. You guys, Shelby is in Live Fest. He's in the second or third round or whatever of Live Fest. So if you guys do Live Fest, and since I'm logging off, if you guys want to wait, 11 o'clock whose time? Because it's 8:20 here, love. He only has doubles until today is Shelb's anniversary. Wait, with who? With Al? Oh, fuck that. Don't you go over there supporting him. Man stealer. Oh. So for the next 40 minutes, all gifts are double, including your tickets. Al? Well, then you leave my Al alone. You already have a man, Shelby. I do see you, Jade. So when you guys go to gift, if you in 40 minutes. Don't come now. Come in 40 minutes. That's what she said. Anyways, when you go to your gifts, on the bottom, there's a little briefcase and there's tickets in there. Even those tickets count. So if you guys want to go over there and support Shelby in 40 minutes, please do so. You got 460 tickets. Okay, Shay Grace. There you go. And again, wait till it's doubles because then it will be 540. Wait, did I do it right? Yeah. 540 tickets. That's amazing. And it's only Live Fest gift that counts this round. Only Live Fest gifts and your tickets. So in 40 minutes. So 9 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock his time. Yeah, engaging, just having numbers over there. Hitting the tap button will bring people in. Shelby, you know I would love to come over. If I'm up, I'll come over. But I got to get my shit together because the grands are on. And I still haven't even eaten. Matter of fact, I lost 5 pounds because I have not eaten in like 4 days. Okay. But if I'm up, Shelby, you know I'll be there. Jade, a whole lot of honey. But I'm going to upload this right now and put it over on my YT. So if you guys are not following me, make sure you're following me. If you've not yet sent your daily heart me, that's all I ask. If you could please send me your daily heart me, I would so appreciate it. I didn't realize that the daily heart me and the 1 cent popular gift really help out. I had no idea. No clue. I'm learning. So anyways, I am going to get off, and yes, I know TikTok's going to say, are you sure you want to exit? You have 334 people in here. On the briefcase. So, Diesel, click on your gifts like you're going to go and gift me right now. If you click on, you don't have to gift me, but click on that. And then on the very bottom, not like don't scroll down on the bottom of the gifts, but like on the sidebar, like, it'll say like exclusive or executive or whatever, and right next to it, it's like a little like backpack briefcase looking thing. If you click that, it'll tell you how many tickets you have. Let me see if I can do, let me go. Let me see. I know it won't let me go live, but yeah, it won't let me do it because I'm already live. But if you can't, you don't have one? That's random. If you can't, if you're over there, Shelby is a master. Shelby can help you. Okay, so I'm going to get off. Tomorrow we'll be live at 6:30. I will get videos posted on each everyday thing. So make sure you're following me here if you haven't. My YT. You don't have one either? What the heck? What? You don't have one either? I wonder why. I would ask Shelby. Yeah, I'm going to get some rest. Well, at first I have to go dry my sheets and make my bed. That is so crazy. I would ask Shelby because I don't know anything about that. I found it, but it's empty. Yeah. Sometimes you'll get it once you go into, like, if you go over to support him, and even just tapping the screen, or if you send like a Live Fest gift, like they have one that's a penny, and if you send like some of those, that earns you tickets. So they have one that's a penny, one that's $299, and one that's $2,999. But even like the $299 one, it's triples. So even though it's only 300 points, it's worth 900 points during the double time. So that's important. Ask Shelby about on one of his videos. I don't know anything about that. And to be honest, I will forget by the time I see him. All right, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go get my sheets in the dryer so I can get these kids to bed. Plus, I gotta eat. I love you so much. I will get this up on. I will get this up on YT ASAP. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 8:25 for me right now, so whatever time that is. All right. Love you guys. Bye.